I wouldn't be where I'm at, professionally if it wasn't for that tough love, hard-nosed background that I had growing up. Because, I mean, I went through some adversity in my life, and I know that what my coach taught me and how he dealt with our culture and how to be, it's bigger than you and tough. You're going to face adversity in life. How are you going to handle it? And like that really came to the surface with a lot of my challenges, and that helped me. So I take great pride in where I came from, and I love to go home, because when I come back, I have an edge to me.
Yeah,
something about it.
Exactly.
That it's like you get a confidence that you can do anything you want to do, as long as you work hard. Let the chips fall where they may. Just work hard, and good things will happen. And that's what we're trying to get our guys at Westside to do.
All right, time for the Let It Fly show. I'm Michael Severe. He is Josh Jones. Of course, he went to Creighton University.
Come on, man.
And Omaha Central. What middle school did you go to?
I went to Jesuit Middle School at the time.
Oh, okay.
Now it's Jesuit Academy.
Yeah. I won't hold that against you. Want to remind you always, as we tell you, Let It Fly Sports Bar opening up very soon.
Man.
June 16th. It's right around the corner. Go to the website, Let It Fly Sports Bar, and check out all the specials and deals, all the pictures, the giant screen. Everything is coming into place. It's going to be a last-minute crush. Yeah. Because there's still some stuff they need to get done, but they're going to get it done.
I can't believe they're getting it done.
They're going to get it done. I know they're going to get it done. They actually took Memorial Weekend off, and then now they're going to go for 2 hard weeks and get it done. So meet us over there. Of course, we'll be over there. We got the live podcast studio. We'll be doing some podcasts. We're going to have a lot of athletes and coaches, so you better meet them as well. So coming out to the Let It Fly Sports Bar starting June 16th. And, of course, buy a $100 gift certificate and get $25 on top of that.
Can't get a deal better than that.
$125 for $1. So that's a pretty cool deal as well. And always brought to you by Omaha Steaks since 1917, a proud local company that supplies great food to restaurants all over Omaha, Nebraska, and other places as well. Coming up on the show, Omaha Westside head coach Paul Limongi. Straight out of Youngstown. Yeah. You know them straight out of Compton people? This man is straight out of Youngstown. Yeah, right. That's where he's from. And we'll talk to him, of course, about his championship at Westside. But, yeah, he's one of those dudes. And we get lucky sometimes here in Omaha. And it always seems like it's a woman that does it. But we get these guys who end up coming here because they're following a girl, because they're following a wife or a girlfriend or whatever. For sure. And then now we get a good coach like that here.
No, definitely.
Which is pretty awesome.
What I vibe about him is, like, he's all business, but he's more passion.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely.
That's Youngstown.
And the kids buy in. Oh, yeah. And that's why I think make them great.
And it's easy for us because we talk to Tristan Alvano and we talk to Jalen Lloyd, both those guys, and they both have that same feel. And that's only 1 year with Coach Limongi, too. So, good news for Nebraska and Creighton basketball. Nebraska was waiting on Casey Tominaga if he was going to come back, put himself in the draft, just go over to Japan and play. Yeah. Whatever.
That would have been cool.
I'd make a ton of money.
I would.
Make a ton of money.
That would have been cool.
But he decided to come back, which is awesome. We remember that once we got to conference season, that's when he really heated up. You look at his numbers, ended up averaging 13 points a game, shot 50% from from 40% from three-point range. That's one of those people, 80 from free throw, 40 and 50. That's a really good year.
Yeah, and I think when I watched him play last year, like, I never disrespected his game, but it's like the more research I did on him, he's really a basketball player. He's from a basketball family. Oh, yeah. It's like he kind of, like, found his groove, and he was blessed to have a coach in Hoiberg to let him take his shots. Mm-hmm. He's putting up 30s.
Yeah, he gave Hoiberg a lot of credit. Yeah. They had a press conference talking about it. He said it helped him develop his defense. Yeah. Ball handling, everything outside of shooting. For sure. It really helped him do that to refine his game. But that's good. I don't know how much it'll mean towards wins. Yeah. They got the what's his name? Marcus Lawrence coming back. Yeah. I really liked him late. He made a lot of big threes. Yeah. He had a couple double-digit games where he played really well against Michigan State. So he's good. Yeah. They're bringing in guys, a couple transfers.
I'm just trying to figure out Coach Hoiberg's strategy. Yeah. He plays a lot of guys, and maybe it's because he's trying to find something that works because, they wouldn't have as much success as they would like. But
it helped last year because they had all those injuries.
That's true.
So they didn't have those guys that they'd played a little bit.
That is true too. So maybe I can fact check myself. But I just think overall, like, I think they need something more. It'd be cool. That's great. Tominga's coming back, but they need that guy, that 3, that 4, who can actually do things. And the Big Ten is a tough conference, man.
Juwan Gary might be that guy because he had times last year. He got hurt in the middle of January.
Yeah.
Tore up his shoulder, missed the rest of the year. But he was playing well. Yeah. Literally, I think most people thought this. When Gary went down, with the way he was playing, on both sides of the ball,
right?
I think people thought, well, that's it.
Yep.
And actually, he goes down, and Lawrence starts playing some minutes for him, and more guys get more minutes. Tominaga got hot, made a big difference. But these transfers are the guys that are going to make the big difference, right? I mean, you got these guys coming in from schools, whether it's Bradley or New Mexico,
right?
And then a kid from Iowa, the point guard from Iowa, Ulis as well. When they come in, and I don't know, and you know this better than I do, but how long is it going to take for them to play like a team?
Yeah.
Like, it's great to practice all this time.
Right.
You get those little exhibition games, then you get your non-conference schedule. How long is it going to take for them? Because you're talking about 5-6 new guys.
Yeah, I know. To be honest, when you come right away, when you're a transfer, it's almost like from the experience that you had, coaches really got to – when you got so many guys that transfer in, you almost got to, like, throw the whole roster away and start over.
Yeah.
I think they're going to gel together right away, just off of what they can do. But it's really going to take this summer for them to really kind of figure out, like, the strengths of everybody.
Yeah.
Because everybody can do something, but it's like what actually works for what coach wants to do.
Did you go on a foreign trip at Creighton?
I did.
Where'd you guys go?
Nassau, Bahamas.
The Bahamas one, okay.
Yeah.
So I think and
that's what I'm trying to say.
I think those are good, right?
When we went over to the Bahamas, it was weird dynamics. The guys that started here in America did not start over there.
Oh, really?
It was weird. Like, like coach was trying different things just to try to
mix it up.
Yeah, mix it up. So I figure Nebraska would probably try to do something like that, unless they just know or adamant about who they want to play. But to be honest, man, they need to come out the gates.
Sure.
That honestly, when you got that many transfers, you have an opportunity to do something right away.
Go ahead. Blaze played well too. Kiata, he played well a little bit late when he had some minutes, but he was hurt most of the end of the season.
Yeah.
CJ Wilcher is one of the most, we used to call him when I was back in the day, clickers.
Yeah.
I mean, when he's on,
he's on.
But when he's off,
he
may hurt somebody. he may hurt somebody in the stands, man. I mean,
for sure.
He's not the most accurate guy, but he's a guy that shoots the three and can have some success. So, I mean, Josiah Alec is local kid coming back. So, I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot. To
I don't know
in.
what happened. Just kind of thinking about the whole Big Ten. Whatever happened to Caleb Love? He couldn't go to Michigan.
I don't know what ended up happening.
I'm gonna look into.
He transferred from North Carolina, right?
Yeah.
And he was going to go to Michigan, and I believe it was a grades requirement thing.
Okay, I got to read into it more.
Because Michigan people don't know, Michigan's a really good academic school.
Yeah.
And Wisconsin is, by the way, Wisconsin is too. And it's really hard sometimes your classes don't transfer from a lesser academic school.
Makes sense.
Not to make fun of anybody else.
But that's North Carolina though, right?
But North Carolina, remember, North Carolina is the place that had the fake African-American studies classes.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, it's not exactly up there. But that was tough for him, so that's why I think he couldn't get in. But that's for Nebraska. Going to be a lot of having to get those guys on the same page.
Yeah.
On the other hand, you got Creighton, who gets 3 of their 5 starters back.
Huge.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge for them.
Who's bigger coming back? Kalkbrenner or Trey Alexander?
It's Trey Alexander.
You think?
I think because, no matter what happens, Trey is going to be the backup point guard.
No doubt.
Right? And he's probably your best offensive player.
Yeah, that's true.
In terms of making your own shot.
I feel you.
Shireman is your best, I think when he's on, he's your best pure shooter.
Yeah.
But I don't think
when he off, he find other ways to get rebounds and things like that.
He does. But can he make his shot as well as Trey can?
No.
Go get a shot.
I thought it was Kalkbrenner for the simple fact.
But defensively, it's huge.
Yeah, I just kind of feel like Creighton is not tripping off offense ever. Mm-hmm. I just feel like defense and Kalkbrenner coming back is kind of defining. Like it's like defining who they still are who they are potentially.
My boy Fred King would have filled in fine. But they're sitting there. You get Kaluma's going off to where he's going. He's not going to the draft, but he is transferring.
Yeah.
You lose Nimhart, which we all knew at that point when it happened he was gone. But Shireman starting, right?
Yeah.
Alexander starting
at the 2.
At the 2, and then you have
Stevens.
I'm what's the kid's name? Yeah. You have Stephen Ashworth.
Stephen Ashworth.
We had on the show.
So look, Ashworth at the 1, Alexander at the 2, Shireman at the 3.
Is Isaac Trout going to step right in and be in there?
I mean, he has to.
Jonathan Lawson, who played at Memphis, who we also had on the podcast, he's a talented kid.
That's true.
He's a really talented kid.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if he beats him out. Trout seems more like a 5 to me.
Yeah.
But maybe he also can play the 4?
I think he I'm not going to say I think you can say a stretch 4, stretch 5.
He's not like, Kaluma could put the ball on the floor a little bit better. He's not that guy.
Yeah, I don't know who will play the 4. I mean, Matt got options. Coach Creighton has options.
Yeah.
And then Kalkbrenner at the 5.
Yeah. And you got Farabello coming off the bench. Stephen Knox kid who's coming off the bench. We mentioned maybe Lawson's coming off the bench as well. So they have some talent coming off the bench. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, and Farabello, maybe if he can get that percentage up from 3, it'll help him a lot.
And my boy Fred King. Don't forget about Frederick King.
Fred, coming off the bench. The thing I think about Freddie is he was just raw talent last year.
I think we named 10 guys just now.
We did.
I think we need 9 at least.
Yeah,
9 at least.
I think Creighton can get right back. I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say to that game.
To start the season, top 20, top 15, top 10. What do you think? With what they have coming back that we know now,
good question.
And the additions of a guy like Stephen Ashworth to come in too, who could shoot his butt off.
I say preseason top 20, but finish in the top 15.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they're better than what they may seem.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we know Nembhard was a huge factor.
Sure.
He was the guy. Yep. Kaluma, another huge factor. But I think when you got vets like Shireman, Alexander, that addition of Ashworth, man, I don't know why I keep drawing the blank. And then Kalkbrenner, I think Mac is really good at bringing out the best of people, using their strengths. Yeah. I think they can be right back.
There's a lot of good athletic players that have come through Creighton.
Yeah.
Jonathan Lawson's is an athlete. Man.
I know, bro.
He's an athlete.
I can't wait.
He got hops. He can dunk.
So
we'll see whatever happens with him. Yeah. So how that goes. The other topic before we get to our interviews.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Will Creighton beat Nebraska again? I mean, will Nebraska beat Creighton?
I don't think so.
Not no more?
I don't think so. I really believe, and this is no knock on Nebraska because they were on that night.
Yeah.
I think Creighton overlooked them in that game.
They
were like, this is not a very good team.
Yeah.
We're going to roll in here.
Right.
We're going to just put it on the table and we'll be good. And like, sometimes it happens, you know. You're thinking too much about
Mike Tyson and Buster Douglas.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'll go and beat this guy who's not in shape or whatever else and get your butt kicked sometimes. Before we get to our interview and chat with the head coach of Omaha Westside, Paul Limongi. So the schedule comes out for Nebraska in terms of some of the TV times.
Yeah.
I want to see if you want to take it back having Colorado beating Nebraska. It is now a 10 a.m. local game start, meaning all the home field advantage gone. Yeah. There is no way, no offense to anybody who lives in Colorado, a bunch of weed heads. There is no way in the world, that place is jacked at 10 a.m.
Man.
That is going to be a dead crowd. Nebraska goes in there.
Any event, bro.
That's going to be a dead crowd. But 10
because
a.m.,
they have Coach Deion, prime time Sanders.
You know what he's not doing? He's not lining up and playing. He ain't getting the crowd cheering.
His expectation, man. Yeah. I think he got a little.
I think it's gonna be tough, man.
I'm not disagreeing.
And
I'm not disagreeing.
So here's another thing so they're gonna have big noon Fox, they call it, right?
Yeah, right.
And so they're gonna do
that's
the show.
Gonna be tight, bro.
But they'll be doing that show in the dark.
Yeah.
And so it's a good way to get fired up when they come in, whether it's ESPN Game Day or Big Noon comes into your town. You know, usually it's about 8 o'clock in the morning, or 9 o'clock in the morning. You know, and everybody's getting fired up. It's gonna be like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning.
Man, I almost can't wait now. I gotta stick to my
rough,
guns, man.
Okay,
you got good points.
I'm just saying.
I mean,
it's an advantage for Nebraska for that game to start at 10 a.m.
Respect. I don't disagree.
Okay.
But I'm going to eat some steak Let It Fly open.
You still got 0-2 for the season. I say at least 1-1.
I say 0-2.
By the way, the Minnesota game kicks off at 7 o'clock. It's a Thursday night game.
That's going to be elite.
Remember, put it on your calendar.
That is elite. That's
Big Fox
That's the real game that we need to talk about. We go back and forth a lot about Colorado because obviously from a social media and a profile standpoint.
I think fan-wise it makes
it makes more sense.
Yeah.
But the game we really need to be talking about is that Minnesota game.
So that's 7 o'clock. Also, we know the Black Friday game against Iowa will be on CBS.
Ooh.
Nebraska hasn't had a regular season game on CBS since like 1990.
Yeah, right.
And on the other hand, they haven't been on CBS. The last time they were on CBS at all was that Gator Bowl in 2008, where Bo Pelini's first bowl game against Clemson.
Yep.
Nebraska wins the game. Joe Gans won MVP. Got a concussion in the first half. Doesn't remember what happened in the second half.
Man.
Doesn't remember getting the trophy. Doesn't remember anything about it.
Man.
Ended up winning that game with Dabo Sweeney. So It's been a long time.
This is going to be a fun year of sports, man.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And then you also have, that's an 11 o'clock game, by the way, which is always tough on Black Friday because for a couple of reasons. One, people eat all that turkey on Thursday.
For sure.
And it makes you all tired and sleepy.
Right.
And then you got to get up early, go to the game, try to tailgate. It's tough at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, no doubt.
They're Good Friday on Black Friday this year. It's the first time they're going to have NFL games played.
Dang.
So they had to play this game early. You don't want to go into the NFL games.
Yeah, for sure.
So you got that.
That's now who's the NFL contracted with now? You got to watch it through an app now. I forgot what it is.
Oh, YouTube TV.
YouTube TV.
That's what I got, man. If you want to watch the NFL ticket. And by the way, do it before June 6th. You get $100 off.
All right.
So I already did mine. I already registered mine. Northern Illinois is the first home game. That's 6 o'clock start at FS1.
Yeah.
And then they play Purdue for homecoming. The other one that was named, it's a day game. No exact time yet. And then you get that Friday game against Illinois. That's on FS1. That's on October 6th.
So what I say, like
I think we both went to like 6-6.
Yeah.
But you had them starting off 0-2.
Yeah.
I had them starting off 1-1.
Exactly.
And then
I think I might have gave him one more game, but I think I don't remember.
I had them beating Northern Illinois. I had them beating Louisiana Tech.
Right.
So I had them starting 3-1.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. I had them starting 3-1. I think you had them started 2-2.
2-2. Yeah.
And then of course you got Michigan that comes in, and then you really get into the schedule at that point.
Yes.
So that's it's
Can't
a long
wait.
way to go. We can't wait though. Coming up next, the head coach Omaha Westside, Paul Limongi. All right, welcome back to Let It Fly Show. The champ is here. The head coach Omaha Westside, Paul Limongi. How you doing, sir?
Good. Thanks for having me.
We appreciate you coming in. First year. Tell me what you did at the beginning, you think, that helped you get to where you were at the end when you first taking over at a school that was kind of established as a program, but you're in your first year.
Yeah, I saw the opportunity. Westside had an opening. Put a lot of time and effort, blood, sweat, and tears at Burke, 16 years.
Yeah.
What really attracted me about the job was the district itself. A tradition of excellence and not just athletics, but academics and theater and choir, so they just had a great reputation of like an all for one for all mentality. And they had such a great culture with their football program. And I'm a culture guy. And it just seemed like a good fit. So when I came in, the key was how do we blend these two cultures together to make what we have now. And it was a pretty easy transition. I mean, there was that grace period where they had to get to know me and I needed to get to know them. But once the staff was on the same page and we met with the guys, they bought in right away to what we wanted to do and how we wanted to do it. So, the transition was smooth for the most part. Now we knew we had to do a lot of work. We had to get better every day, and we did. And the kids believed, and we just kept climbing the mountain. And it ended up being a great year, and really enjoyed it. And so happy I'm part of Westside Community Schools, and can't wait for the future.
When the field goal was on the line, did you know it was over?
Yeah, I mean, it was. I knew if we got close, we had some time left, and we just had a good energy about ourselves. The kids really felt confident. We knew it was going to be that type of game in terms of up and down, and we knew we had to be mentally strong to handle all situations. So once we got the ball back, and it started with. Great kickoff return by Brody Gock that got us in field position. Then Anthony kind of dinked and dobbed, and we got to around the 40-yard line, and we saw Tristan is walking up and down the sideline.
He saying, if I just get a chance, it's over.
I was born to do this. I mean, and then we called him up, and I saw it in his eyes, and I felt pretty confident. What I was a little worried about is the snap, the hold, the protection. I knew they had some tall guys getting their hands up. We made a few personnel changes in our field goal protection team because we knew they really came off to try to block PATs and field goals. So, that's what I was a little worried about. But once good snap, good hold, boom, and I just couldn't believe it.
Man.
We had Jalen Lloyd on, and he said – completely confident. He's known Tristan since they were little kids. He goes, I wasn't even worried.
Yeah. I just knew if we got there, we'd have a pretty good shot. And, that's something you dream about. But it was one of those games where, I'm lucky I have a strong heart because it was something.
How much do you feel like just coming into, your first year coaching at Westside, how much do you think it was the talent that you were blessed with that year versus how much emphasis and expertise you had to bring into the program to make it?
There's no doubt that we have great talent at Westside, great kids, tough kids that love to compete. So that was huge. I mean, they did it. They went out and they played 13 games and got better. We just guided it, and we just kind of guided the ship. But those guys deserve all the credit. They got down in the dirt every week and played hard, and we're a very physical team. We knew going in that the most physical team would win the tournament, and we felt that was us, and we needed to do that to achieve that end result. So, we just blessed with great kids and really high character kids. I love them all. So that makes it pretty easy.
Yeah, we were talking to Jalen, and he was saying that like the expectation and standard is so high by you that it's almost like the accountability for them to bring the best out of them. Yeah. Like it came from you. So when I was asking it, just to let you know, I'm not saying that it was the talent of why you guys won. Oh yeah. But I just want to know from your perspective as coach, how did you see it?
Yeah. I mean, the good thing, I'm so lucky and fortunate I had those 16 years experience as a head coach, because that really helped. Yeah. Just deal with the ups and downs, the staff, getting everybody on the same page. Right. Getting to know the kids, how to form those relationships, and do things off the field that were really took great pride in to get to know each other, to love each other. But it was challenging. I mean, it was you get that far in any sport. There's ups and downs, and you got to fight every day, and it sure as heck wasn't easy. So we're very humbled to come out on top that night.
Westside head coach Paul Limongi joining us here on the Let It Fly show. I want to go back to the beginning of the season. Did you know first of all, they need to build a statue out front to Rezex, the dad, for what he produced in terms of helping that school. Yeah. But did you know that Anthony would be the guy when you started the season?
Yeah, we knew, because my last game at Burke was against Westside, so we just played him there. I mean, it was weird how my first game as a head coach was against Westside. My last game as
that is weird.
was against Westside. So we scouted them a bunch before we played them in that second round, and we knew Anthony was the guy. I mean, he was so elusive in the pocket, such a competitor, great arm, could really, if he gets out, he could take it, and he's tough. So we knew that. I knew that going in just from watching him, and once I met him and got to know him as a person, his leadership and character and toughness, and how he takes control of an offense and a team, and knowing he was going to be a captain right away. He just had a special glare in his eye come playoff time in that state championship game. After he scored the first touchdown, he came off the field and he was just like, "I got this, coach. Just keep it in my hands." So the confidence that he had and he brings to others, so they could play at their best is pretty special.
Yeah, you had a special guy like Tristan Alvano, for one example of somebody special. With the guys you got coming back, returning. Obviously, probably nothing changed with your philosophies or whatever. Right. But what does it take for you to get right back to that game?
Yeah, it's work. I mean, we got we gotta. You don't forget what you did, but you have to kind of reinvent yourself a little bit. Okay. And it starts with just good old fashioned hard work and not taking anything for granted, and knowing that you're the champion of last season, that you're a target. So how do you make it hard to hit a target? You move it. You got to keep moving it. So we're trying to elevate it. So it's hard to catch, but we want to tell our guys that we're not worried about being hunted. We still want to hunt, and we still want to go out and work our tails off, and know that we haven't done nothing in 2023, and we're not going to get anything, and nothing's deserving of us. We got to go get it, and it's going to come with hard work and loving each other and doing the right things on and off the field, because our schedule is challenging, and there's some great teams out there. So it's going to be a mountain that we need to climb, but like I said earlier, we're excited for the challenge.
Yeah, we'll get to the beginning of the start of the season, because the Metro didn't do you any favors. Yeah. But you had Alex Henry at Burke, right?
He was. No, I did not.
So what year did you get there?
06.
Oh, because he 05 was when he was done. Yeah. So I was just going to say, because he is one of the best kickers I've ever seen. Yeah. Obviously, Tristan's pretty good. Comparing him, how do you kind of rank Tristan in terms of all the guys you've seen since you've been in the Metro?
There's been some great kickers, and the thing that separates Tristan a bit is his mentality, his competitive spirit. How you wouldn't guess he's a kicker.
I can see that.
He works out hard.
Yeah.
He trains hard. Before a game, he's dialed in. He loves to compete. Like, he wants the pressure, and he's just always, what can I do to get better? What can I do to get better? And I know, he played that play 1,000 times in his head before he actually made the kick, and he just breeds confidence. And there are a couple times during the season, I think maybe at Grand Island game 2 and maybe at North Platte, where he missed a few, and he forgets it and moves on to the next one. So he has that mentality of being such a strong, mentally type kid. And a lot of that is his position coach, Coach Moravec, who's really into studying the mind and having that elite mindset to handle tough situations like he's been in.
Right. What's the rivalry now for Westside? I know there's like the standard school rival games, but who does Westside look forward to marking the date on the calendar?
It's without, and I learned that from day one. It's without question, it's prep. So that's the heated one on both sides in all sports, not just football. And that's I think due to a lot of the kids and the families knowing each other and the tradition going back to I'm sure the 60s, 70s, 80s, and it just kept building, and we love to play them, and I'm sure they love to play us, and they want to beat us just as bad as we want to beat them. So that's a big one, and but they're all big, but we open with them, so it's going to be a special time come then August.
The Beitlos live right up the hill from where I live, so I know Grant. I obviously know Caleb.
Yep.
And you got Cotton, but the secondary, man, you're loaded at secondary. You feel what position you feel most comfortable with?
Well, we got some guys, and like I said, they got to work, they got to get better, but they're good kids, and they.
I left out Reed, the other resec, to the twin. He's back there too.
Teddy. Yeah. We got a secondary that has in Jordan Hurst, who started game 8 towards the end. Really grew. Now he's a almost 6'1". He's 165 pounds. The secondary, Preston Okafer's another one. So we got a little depth. Brody Gok, but they got to continue to get better and not be satisfied and really get stronger this next couple months in the weight room. But we're happy to have them.
How do you the climate of sports have definitely changed, obviously with NIL and all that.
Yep.
How does that change anything about you as a head coach now, or do you just still what with that going on? How do you approach the game?
Yeah, so we feel we have a special program at Westside. We do a lot of things off the field. We do a lot of cultural things about football's like third or fourth, fifth on our priority list. We want those guys to succeed in the community, to family and faith, represent where they come from. Whatever that faith may be, that's important. And their family's number one, and they should always take pride in their family. And then, school. We got to do well in school. I think the biggest reasons we've had good success, even at Burke, and last year at Westside, of getting kids at the next levels, they're very highly ranked academically. They get good grades, so it's a priority that if you can't just be, get great effort on the football field if you don't give it in the classroom. So you got to have the academics, and we want to get involved in the community and help out and serve and, do whatever we can. And then, football. And we feel, by doing well at those things and giving back.
So you're trying to build young men.
Football's a tool. It's just a tool to help these kids be successful. And it's been that way all the time. And I know that's the hot topic of, a lot of coaches say it. We live it. And I have to give credit to my head coach. When I was in high school, he was like that. He was tough as nails, but he was all about us being a good man, a good husband, a good father.
Were you at Cardinal Mooney as well?
I was not. I was Youngstown Cheney.
Okay.
So that was the public school. Cardinal Mooney was the private school.
Yeah, Bo's school.
Yeah. So it was a nice rivalry there.
I bet.
With those guys. But, we my head coach really gave me all the staples that I needed to help me become a football coach.
Man. Coach Paul Limongi joining us here on Let It Fly show. So you're replacing a couple offensive linemen.
Yeah.
But the young guys have all played, right, a little bit. So you got experience with them. How you feel about your O-line?
Yeah, so I really like our center, Jack Wing. Jack is going to be a 3-year starter at center, and he's a perfect type of high school lineman we like. He's like 5'11", 230, quick, strong, we can pull him. Good leader.
Yeah.
Gritty, grindy, just gets it done. And then Brock Regner started at left tackle for us. He's a big 6'6" kid who got better every game last year as a junior. He wrestled in the offseason, which really helped him.
I love that.
And did some shot and disc and really worked on his trade and became a little leaner, a little quicker. And then we got some other guys who we feel that are going to step in there. We got a young kid, Owen James, who's got the body and the mentality we like. And there's some other guys. We even moved a few players around.
From D-line to O-line?
No, from like skill guy to guard.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Just because they did so well in the offseason of gaining explosive strength that we think they can give us great
a better
depth.
advantage.
Wow.
Yeah, and just have that mentality, bring some toughness to that group that we feel we're gonna be okay. We feel confident in our linemen, and they work hard and they're a tight group. So we're going to go how they go. So that was important for us.
I think about I got so many questions for Westside, but I just kind of want to dial back and talk about Burke High School for a moment. When you, despite of where you're at now in the instant success that you have already had, when you think of Burke High School, what comes to mind?
Oh, tough kids, great kids, love those kids. From 2006 to my last year, great kids. Who bought into and believed in what we were trying to do, and their families and those athletes that we had. I'm so proud of what we did, what they did, and not only how we played on the field, but what they did. After high school, in college, a lot of them hit the military. A lot of them are doing well in business, and they're good family men because you're getting to see those. Those things happen in life. And I'm so proud of all those kids of what they're doing now. But, when we started and Damon was part of that 2006 staff, we won one game. Yeah. And we were just trying to build what we needed to do. And then the next year we won 3. And then we kept climbing. And our culture of ET started being bought in. And then, I look back, those kids were tough. They played hard. They played for each other. And, what I'm most proud of is that year after COVID. Yeah. We only had 2 guys coming back. Yeah. We might have had my best team that I had at Burke in 2020 that we got canceled. We had a lot of linemen. We had a lot of guys that left and went to other schools that were D1 guys. We had a kid go to Millard South. In the Olson, we had everything we wanted, and they worked so hard during COVID, like on their own, and we read a book. Like we did all this stuff to prepare, and it was just heartbreaking that season was canceled for us. But that next year of coming back with 2 to 3 guys with any type of playing experience and molding that team into a second-round playoff team. Yeah. We lost the first one, the Bell West. They got us good, and I remember walking out. We didn't even know how to do like our chant of how to get to the field because we didn't have any guys who lived it the year before. It was just like, how do we warm up? Like
Man,
it was
COVID really took a lot away then.
Yeah, and half our team was in the ice tubs at halftime. It was a really hot night. Just that they weren't used to that battle of
for sure.
And they got us pretty good, but then we didn't lose until the last game of the year. We lost to Millard South. Yep. And then we won the first round game against Lincoln Southeast, I believe. That was, wow, how we did that. And then we played Westside. So that group of kids who bought in and believed and really understood what we're about, I'll never forget that group. And there were many great teams there and great kids, great athletes, and just went to Xavier Watts' graduation party from Notre Dame on Sunday afternoon, and so proud of him and Nick Henrich and Tyler Chadwick, James. I mean, there's just countless names of the past. And I got 2 guys coaching for me at Westside that played for me. Jimmy Forsythe.
That's cool, yeah.
He might have been your age, Jimmy.
Yep.
Was a great quarterback, 3-year starter for us at Burke. And then Jeremy Queen's our co-D coordinator with Damon. And so it's really good to kind of bring one ET tradition to another.
Sure.
So.
How'd you handle it emotionally during COVID? I know because there's nobody as focused, in my opinion, as high school football coaches. Yeah. You're on 24/7, 365. Yeah. They have that taken away from you, and you're watching other teams play on the other side of town. How'd you deal with that?
that was tough. And what made it even doubly tough is I had 2 daughters that played college soccer, and they were out too. Wow. My youngest lost her freshman year, and my oldest lost her junior year. Now they came back in the spring and played, but anyway, so we had that, and then I knew how hard it was for our kids. I felt so bad for them because they did everything we asked to prepare for that season, and we kept, you just 1 week it's a go, another week it's a non-go. One, and decisions were made, and it was what it was. But yeah, you felt for those kids because we just had our parent meeting the night before the official announcement.
Yep.
And one parent said, "Hey, coach, is it a go?" And I said, "It's a go as of right now." So we were. And that night, it kind of was stern.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh no!" So we had to make that announcement, and a few kids left, and a few kids stayed, and then going through that season and watching, I didn't watch much. I think I went to a game with Damon. He took me to a game. And watched, and I watched a little bit of the state championship with Westside and Elkhorn South, but it was tough, and we were just excited to kind of bring it back that December to go for that 2021 year. But I felt horrible for those kids and those families. It was something.
Yeah. What about I actually watched the state championship at Burke when Watts played.
Oh, okay.
It seemed like on TV that he single-handedly won the game.
Yeah,
it seemed like. Talk about that.
So we were all ready to go. I mean, obviously, we were preseason number 1 the last 2 years of that second year, and a lot of pressure packed, and we undefeated, and we're playing Grand Island. Coach Tomlin does a great job with that group, and they had some players. They were a good football team.
Yeah.
They had some tough kids, and Henrich was played 2 series, and then he couldn't go no more. And then Hickman had a torn labrum, so he was a little off. And they at halftime it was 14-3, and that other team they were going, and we went in at halftime. We stayed calm. But we did have a conversation with Xavier, and saying, "Hey, dude,
take over, brother.
We need you to take this thing over for
offense
us."
and defense.
Yeah, he was everywhere.
And,
My God,
and he did, and we just needed a little bit of some good things to happen.
Yeah,
because we had a touchdown called back before the half on a Hail Mary.
Yeah, it took a lot out of you guys.
To Xavier.
Yeah.
So that would have been now you're talking 14-10.
Yeah,
14-10. Different than 14-3.
Yeah, exactly.
So we the guys did a great job of staying calm and relying on each other, and then we start clicking, and then James Burks got going, and then Xavier. And the defense stepped up, and then it felt really good, kind of similar to what it felt this November about, man, it just feels good.
Yeah,
we're down, but it feels good. And,
right.
And that's what we did, and winning that one and getting that first one for Burke and with that group, and that was a special one as well. So that was a fun night too.
Yeah,
my sons are one's at Central. The next one will be at Central next year, and I've been to a couple games, and they're little and they're not great. And you look across Omaha, and that year where we lost football, we lost so many kids going to other schools. I know you're not in OPS anymore, but how does that come back? Because those schools are really struggling. I know North played okay last year, but they're really struggling.
Yeah, it was tough, but there's some good coaches over there.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, Larry's a great job.
Coach. Yeah.
Ben Ryan, who was with me for so many years, he's over at Westview. Ryan Hansen at Bryan is trying to do what he can to elevate their program. So they got some good coaches, and they understand that it's going to be a process, and that it just makes it a little harder than it was, and you just got to keep grinding, keep doing what you're doing.
Sure.
And now they opened up 2 more high schools.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So now you're really spread out. So it could be tough for some, but you just got to keep pounding and keep developing them, and that's why I said that coming back at Burke in 2021, how we were able to.
It's amazing.
To make the playoffs,
it's
winning
possible.
games it's possible.
It's possible.
Buying the kids, love the kids, get them to play hard. Good things will happen.
Yeah, it just kind of seems like OPS sports as a whole is down. Yeah. I don't quite know the answer of why.
Yeah.
But then you look at success like West. It just seems like Westside, Bellevue West.
Gretna.
Gretna.
All those kids out there.
Yeah.
Like maybe, and maybe this is just a theory of mine. Maybe it's just like the preparation in place, before the kids get to high school.
They got a lot of training.
Yeah, the training,
And the availability to get that training and have it close to you and having those resources at that young of age is so important, especially with today's youth. Maybe not when we were young, but now everybody gets that little that specialized training, a little extra that you might not have gotten 5-10 years ago. So it makes it that much more tough if you just don't have those resources.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I think North Omaha defines a lot of who Josh is. Growing up in New Orleans defined me a lot. How did Youngstown define you as a person?
Yeah. Well, born and raised in Youngstown, it was a very special place. It's a hard-nosed town. High school football, it was something that you were just proud to be a part of. Like you just wanted to be a part of it. And
was it one of those things where the whole town come out on Friday night?
Yeah. So Youngstown is divided into sections. You got West Side, South Side, North Side. So it's and like you went to that school. Like it was
There's no open enrollment.
No open enrollment. It was a big square, and you took pride in it. And you played for the guy next to you, and you played for the community you're in, and just a hard work ethic of trying to do things right. It's a Rust Belt town, but it really taught me great values. My parents are still there. My sister, I got a niece, all my aunts, and my whole family. So we go back a couple times a year. But it's I wouldn't be where I'm at, professionally, if it wasn't for that tough love, hard-nosed background that I had growing up. Because I went through some adversity in my life, and I know that what my coach taught me and how he dealt with our culture and how to be, it's bigger than you and tough. You're going to face adversity in life. How are you going to handle it? And like that really came to the surface with a lot of my challenges, and that helped me. So I take great pride in where I came from, and I love to go home, because when I come back, I have an edge to me.
Yeah,
something about it.
Exactly.
That it's like you get a confidence that you can do anything you want to do as long as you work hard. Like let the chips fall where they may. Just work hard, and good things will happen. And that's what we're trying to get our guys at Westside to do.
How'd you end up here?
Yeah, so I met my wife. Very lucky.
That's how I got here.
A wonderful woman, Amy. I met her on a cruise.
Oh, wow.
So in '94, we had a lot in common. She was a teacher, or going to be. Like, we were right out of college. She was Catholic. We just had similar interests and values. And I was with a buddy, and she was with her family. And we just kind of met the first night. And, had a lot going. Then I kept seeing her, and
like a Hallmark story or something like that.
I don't know what it was, but my buddy's like at the last day of the cruise, he's like, "You all right, man?" I'm like, "I think I like this girl."
Yeah,
and so we just did a long distance relationship for 2 years, and the plan was to live in Youngstown though, because I was coaching at the school I went to.
Yeah, you had a nice setup already.
Yeah,
for sure.
But teaching jobs were very, very tough. She couldn't get a job in Youngstown. We both tried, and I got a job over the phone in Millard. So we said, okay. But when the plan was, when I came out, I didn't coach because I thought it would never be the same. I don't know anybody.
Right.
So I did landscaping with the brother-in-law that I had, and worked all summers and for 2 summers. And then I got the itch, and I contacted all the Millard schools, and Dan McLaughlin called me.
Nice.
And said, I have a D-line job opening. Are you interested? And I said, yep.
Yeah.
I'll take it. And just went from there.
History.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Who is out of all the years you've coached football, who's the best player that you've ever seen play and the best player you ever coached?
Yeah, we had a couple in Youngstown that were really, really good. Anthony Floyd played for Louisville. Led the nation in interceptions one year. He was good. He was a really good player. So we had a lot of tough
Talk about the right place, right time.
Yeah,
leading the nation in interceptions.
Yeah. We had a Heisman Trophy winner, Frank Sinkowicz, at my high school. So we had a lot of tradition there. So but there are some great guys there. Then coming to Omaha, Nick Leaders at Miller.
Oh yeah, he's a baller.
Was something else. You know, he played 3 tech. He played inside back. He played O-line. He was a great pitcher. He was one of the best that I coached at Millard. And then going into Burke, we had Jimmy Forsythe was a great player, and Jeremy Queen and Austin Williams, Tyler Chadwick, James. I mean, there are so many really good ones. Nick Henrich, Watts, just some really, really good players. I hate to say that because I know I'm probably leaving somebody out. And then you got the Westside dudes. You got so many really good players there, and I've been blessed with some really good kids and great talented football players.
It seems like they all buy in.
Oh, definitely.
Got to buy in.
You got to. Last question from me. Out of all your assistant coaches, Damon the hardest to work with? Let me be honest.
This could be the last question right here.
I love Damon, and we go back.
Sure.
I've known Caleb since he was 1, too, because he was just a baby.
Yeah, sure.
So, Damon's a loyal dude, man. And,
he is.
He's really grown as a football coach, too. He's because I seen him at the beginning of his first year. Yeah. And he's getting his feet wet, but he cared. Yeah. And that's number one. He cared and he was loyal to what we were trying to do. And then seeing him now and seeing how he's grown, with the fundamentals of X's and O's is really great to see. And he is a great coach in how he relates to the guys and loves the guys. So he's great addition that we have as well as, I really got some good guys on staff that really put in the time, and they believe in what we're trying to do. Yeah. And if they didn't, it wouldn't worked. Yeah. So they buy into what this whole, all for one for all, ET, manhood.
What is ET? You keep saying ET.
Effort and toughness. So
it's all it takes.
It's all it takes.
That's facts. To be honest. Yeah.
It's been with me since I was at Miller West, and it was with me at 16 years at Burke. We took it to Westside. It's everything we do. And we want we feel if you give great effort, no matter what you do, whether you're cutting the grass, taking a test, helping in the community or playing football, you're okay. And if you're tough, and I mean by tough, I mean making good decisions, right? I mean, doing what's right, not what's popular. Yeah.
It's easy to do what's wrong.
Yeah. I mean, be uncommon. All that cliche stuff that's coming around now, but we've done that for a while, and we take great pride in that because our kids buy into it, and it's very hard to do. Yeah, it's very hard.
Coach, we appreciate it. Thank you very much for coming. It was great talking
with you for hours, man.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Coach Paul Limongi from Omaha Westside. Oh, we appreciate Paul Limongi coming on and giving us some wisdom.
Yeah, that was nice, man.
That was awesome. That was really fun. Tonight we're taping Thursday, so it's the opening of the NBA NBA Finals. Ooh. Denver Nuggets, Miami Heat. Obviously, the Nuggets have been resting. So, and you'll know by the time people listen to this, but better chance for you, Nuggets rusty or Heat tired? By the way, they've won the first game of each of the series they played so far in the playoffs.
That's a good question. Heat tired.
Heat tired.
Yeah. I just kind of feel like Jokic is the type of player where, like, he's so versatile. Yeah. And he plays at his own speed. They let the game come to him.
Yeah, they really don't live and die by the three.
They really
either.
don't.
So,
Jamal Murray take threes.
Yeah,
and but Jokic
Porter's shooting like crazy from three. So.
But that's confidence.
Yeah.
Before we even talk about his skill, that's his confidence.
That's his confidence now. He is playing really well. So how many games in the series goes?
Oh, good question. I think it go to 6.
You think the Heat win 2?
I think the Heat win 2.
Heat culture, baby.
Yeah.
They've been amazing. Yeah. What they've done as an 8 seed.
Yeah. And now that it's here, I'm not even tripping off of it being less ratings and anything like that. Mm-hmm. I think this will be a fun series. Yeah, I
hope it's not a sweep.
No,
I mean everything that Miami's going through and how hard they had to. I mean they were up 3-0. Right. They should have finished off Boston in 4 or 5.
But the way the talent is either like one team can get blown out, or the other team can get blown out. Yeah, I don't think
Game 7, Boston Garden. Now when I was growing up, nobody went into the Boston Garden in Game 7 and won. Right. No, when I was growing up. Then you had a couple Lakers won 1 after losing like 11 in a row or something. And now they lost like 6 games at home.
Well, let me tell you this.
Boston.
There's a few things that I think about when I think about Boston consistently coming up short when it matters. Mm-hmm. I think about head coach.
Sure.
I think if
Joker getting fired was
that was huge. I also think about Jaylen Brown is really good. Jason Tatum is really good. Mm-hmm. But you got to trade somebody.
Brown played horribly.
You got to trade somebody.
He played horribly.
Yeah.
He's going to make, I think it's 40, because he made second team All-NBA, I think it's $46 million.
Got to trade
is how much he's going to, I don't think, I think Smart's gone.
Yeah.
I don't have a feeling they just keep Tatum and and Brown, and they just bring more in.
They are, but look though, they entertain that already.
I know. So
them
one's
out of- getting them up out of
27
there.
and one's 26. They are still young.
True. But you know how much that's the thing. The value of Brown being so young.
Yeah, he's
and,
valuable.
And talented, man.
Yeah.
You can swap him for another forward.
Okay.
And put pieces around Tatum. Now, and it's not nothing against Jaylen Brown. I'm just thinking from like a GM perspective.
I understand. I wouldn't be surprised if they do that.
You just can't keep doing this.
Yeah, you can't do it.
I mean, it's obviously not the coaching. They right back where they need to be. Mm-hmm. It's the team.
Yeah. Well,
something got to go.
Well,
bro.
I think
Something
part of
give.
it's the coaching because you had a rookie coach who was in there who was a bench coach, never been a head coach.
He answered his questions.
I think he struggled a little bit, I think, in some adjustments. But look, they won 3 in a row.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, under that coach. And
for sure.
I don't know. I look at them and I wouldn't be surprised either way. Bring Brown and Tatum back and build around that.
Yeah, either way.
But I get what you're saying.
But,
that 51st dates thing you're always talking about.
Yeah, it's man, how many times are we going to get excited about Boston literally is like one of the most, aside from Milwaukee, they're the other most seasoned, mature team.
And talented
team
yeah.
in
You're
the
right.
NBA.
You're right.
But every single time it comes to that point,
Yep.
the lack of maturity it's not experience. I just think it's just talent.
Yeah, because this year was a year they should have got back to. They got to the
Right
finals
back.
last year,
Right
a
back.
year early. This
Exactly.
year they should have been right back with the way everything set up, but they did.
Exactly.
We want to thank Coach Paul Limongi for coming up from Omaha Westside. Great conversation with him. That was awesome. We want to thank, Phil?
I think I know Phil.
Executive producer of the Let It Fly show.
There you go.
Executive producer. He's a big timer.
Right.
He already left.
That's
he didn't even hang
what
out.
happened when
he
you're
didn't even when you're
executive
big like
producer.
that. That's how it works.
Yeah.
As well, Dylan producing the show. We appreciate it. Thank you very much for sitting in for Pat Stafford as well. Again, reminder always, Let It Fly Sports Bar opening up June 16th. We want to see you there.
It's going to be fun.
How'd they say it? Was like, beat me there?
No,
meet you there?
Don't meet me there. Beat me there.
Beat me there. I hear that. That's pretty cool. Take us away.
Hey, it's Josh Jones here. My man Michael Severe. You know how we do it. It's a Let It Fly show.